We are going to tell you a little that we know about Montpelier local history. History is pretty fun for us. We like to read about it. It is very awesome.
In 1836 in Montpelier, there was just trees. Nothing to do there, no fun, just boring trees.
Where the fields are now, back in the past, there were woods there. They did not have medicine in the past, so they had a lot of diseases.
I'm going to talk about the Indians. The Indians had a boy named Francis Godfrey, and he had his own tribe. The Miami tribe were kind of like farmers. The Indians were kind and would trade with people. Miami comes from the Miami word Miami, which means ally, which means friend. Montpelier was started by people from Vermont. A man named Abel Baldwin, a veteran of the War of 1812, was the leader of the group of Vermont natives. Abel Baldwin sold his property and went to Montpelier and bought 40 acres for $200. He came to the San Juan River in Montpelier. His group had 20 people. They were from Montpelier, Vermont. They got here by stagecoach, carriage, horseback, steamboat, and on foot. They traveled 1,000 miles.
They went to the Salmon River. They liked that spot for water, food, and wood, and to have a lot of space.
Abel Baldwin didn't finish Montpelier. Abel Baldwin died when he was 48. The people who traveled to Montpelier had problems like there were no buildings or stores. They wanted to build wooden houses so that they had homes. They needed food and churches so that the kids could learn about God. The first newspaper was called the Herald. It was wrote in 1870. The first jail was built in the 1870s. 2. They needed a jail for the robbers and criminals. There were only 231 people in Montpelier in 1870. In the late 1880s, there was a thing called an oil boom. In the olden days, where people put oils everywhere so they can get very, very rich. There were 450 people in 1980. Finally, in the 1890s, they were building up. They were becoming a lot of businesses. Also, there became more people and crime like all ordinary cities. The city hall was built in 1896. At the time it was built, it was also a fire station. Montpelier was a boom city. Our population went from 425 to 5,000. In the 1880s, they found oil in the ground. They started using oil rigs and oil wells to get the oil out of the ground. People used oil for tons of things, like boats, heaters, trains, tires, and other things. Montpelier is located in the Trenton gas field, which is located in central Indiana. The Trenton gas field was found in 1876. To drill for oil, you have to hire geologists from oil companies to find oil. The oil boom changed Montpelier in many ways. The oil boom changed Montpelier in one way because the oil got more people to come to Montpelier. It brought more people because they wanted more jobs where they could work. Oil explosions come from pressure. Some of the oil forced out too much and it caused fire. All of the oil shot up in the air. The oilmen were in a lot of danger. Most of the time when the bell rings, that meant fire. The oil explosion hurt a lot of people.
There was more crime. They had to make jails. They made houses out of bricks and stones. The businesses were stores, banks, and hotels. In the old days, the hotels were very busy.
There were people fighting everywhere. There were lots of bars in Montpelier. It was a rowdy place.
The past was very crazy. The oil boom started a lot of businesses.
When the oil boom happened, it brought lots of businesses alive. More stores were built, more people moved into houses. They moved into small ones and big ones. I still ride my bike by a house that looks like a mansion. When the oil and gas dried up, people left. Our population went back down. In the 1920s, our school used to be the pace source. Everyone played basketball.
The people traveled by horses, buggies, and also interurban trains. They were trains that helped people travel from one place to another. I bet most of them liked riding interurban trains. I would like to.
The interurban was the best way to get to other cities. It would be great if we still had it.
The interurban train was mostly used in 1915. The tracks were built into the road like today, but it didn't tell you when to stop. Nowadays, we buy fuel for our cars to run, but the interurban train was electric, so it helped the environment. The interurban bridge got hit by high rushing waters in the flood of 1913. Houses got torn down by the water, and an island was made by the Salamone River. The last interurban train went down Main Street in the 1930s. After the interurban went away in the 1930s, the cars started coming in. The cars were not like the ones we have now. Back then, the cars were mainly black and white. Now our cars are still black and white, but we have other colors like blue, red, purple, and pink.
Then they did not have garages like we have now. They had to park their cars on the side of the road. They did not have any of these fancy things like the limos we have now.
The cars went very slow. The highest speed was 20 miles per hour.
A lot has changed over the years. Today there is 1,800 people in Montpelier.
Today, Montpelier has new homes. It has roads, new cars, and a good school. We are not getting any oil booms now.
It is important to keep our community safe for the earth. We can try to make our community a better place to live and to stay.
Taking care of our city is important. If you see someone in danger, you should help them. We should help people cross the roads. When you see trash, pick it up. 1, 2, 3. Montpelier, we name you best in the land. Our hearts are proud thinking of you. Our people reign.
First one the most.
Hey, Here, Jonah, let me see it.
That is amazing!
I can't believe he can make that.
Jonah.
We should always take care of Montpelier or wherever else we're from. We have in the past, so why can't we do it now? We want our city to be clean and taken care of for another 200 years. We hope you enjoy listening to the history of our city.
So awesome!